What's up guys, welcome to The Kickoff. My name is Marco, I'm a certified soccer referee, and I'm here to teach you about the laws of the game and everything you need to know to kick off. Let's jump into it. Today we're covering Law 3, which are the players. First we gotta know how many players does it take to start a game. There's gonna be 2 teams of 11 players, one of them has to be the goalkeeper. These are named players who will start the match. There's also substitute players who do not start the match but can enter, and then there's substituted players who are named players that started and then got substituted for and can no longer return. Now you can't start or continue with less than 7 players, which is the minimum amount to start a game. Next up, we got number of substitutions. There's a maximum of 5 except at the top divisions and international teams, which there are only allowed 3. This depends on the competition rules, so you really have to look into the rules of competition at your tournament or local leagues. Certain competitions, like at the professional level and international tournaments, do allow an additional sub after you've completed your 3 if extra time is played. Returning subs only come in during youth, veterans, and grassroots football only. At the professional levels, once you've gotten substituted for, you cannot return into the match. How do you perform a substitution? The referee must be informed, and during a stoppage in play, after receiving permission from the referee, a player must leave by the nearest point at the boundary line. Then the substitute can enter at that time with the referee's permission at the halfway line after that player has left and having received the signal from the referee to come onto the field. The substitution is complete when the sub enters the field and is ready to go. All substituted players and substitutes are subject to the referee's authority whether they're playing or not. If you're going to change the goalkeeper, any player on the field and off the bench can make a change with the goalkeeper, as long as the referee is informed and it is made during a stoppage. There are some offenses and sanctions if there's anything that goes against these laws. If a named substitute starts a match instead of a named player, then that referee is not informed of this change. The referee allows play to continue, no disciplinary action is needed, and the named player can become a named substitute, and the number of subs is not reduced. So let's say one of the substitutes was starting rather than the starting player that was listed. That's okay, they can switch as long as the referee is informed. So now that player that was a sub that started becomes a starter, and that starter now becomes a substitute, eligible to be substituted later in the match. If a substitution is made during the halftime interval or before extra time, the procedure must be completed before the match restarts. If the referee is not informed, the named substitute may continue play, no disciplinary action is required, and the matter is reported to the appropriate authorities. If a player changes places with the goalkeeper without the referee's permission, we allow play to continue. We caution both players when the ball is next out of play, but not if the change occurred during halftime, between the end of the match, or at the start of extra time or kicks from the mark. For any other offenses, the players are cautioned. Play is restarted with an indirect free kick at the position of the ball when the play was stopped. Now, if you have players and subs are sent off, a player who is sent off before the submission of the team list of starters and before kickoff cannot be named on the team list. A player who is sent off after being named on the team starter list but before the kickoff may be replaced by a named substitute. This named substitute cannot be replaced. Team is not charged with a sub. If a player is sent off after a kickoff, this player cannot be replaced. A named substitute who is sent off before or after the kick may also not be replaced. What if you have extra persons on the field? The coach or other officials named on the team list are called team officials. Anyone not on the team list is considered an outside agent. If anyone enters the field to play, the referee must stop play if there is interference with play, have the person removed, and take appropriate disciplinary action. If play is stopped and interference was made by a team official, substitute, substituted player, or sent off player, play restarts with a direct free kick or penalty kick. Play is stopped and interference was made by an outside agent, play restarts with a drop ball. If a ball is going into the goal and the interference does not prevent a defending player to play the ball, the goal is awarded if the ball enters the goal, even if contact was made with the ball, unless the interference was made by the attacking team. Now let's talk about players off the field of play. If a player who needs permission to enter the field re-enters without the referee's permission, the referee must stop play if the player interferes and caution that player for entering the field of play without permission. The restart is a direct free kick at the spot of interference, or an indirect free kick at the position of the ball when the play was stopped if there was no interference. After a goal was scored, the referee realizes, but before play restarts, that extra person on the field was from the team that scored the goal, and play is restarted with a direct free kick at the position of the extra player. The referee must disallow a goal if the extra person was an outside agent that interfered with play, and the restart is a drop ball. The referee must allow a goal if the extra person was from the team that conceded the goal, or an outside agent who did not interfere with play. In all cases, the referee must have the extra person removed from the field of play. If after a goal is scored, the play has restarted, the referee realizes that the extra person was on the field when the goal was scored, the goal cannot be disallowed. If the extra person is still on the field of play, the referee must stop play, have that extra person removed, restart with a drop ball or a free kick where appropriate. In all cases, the referee reports the incident to appropriate authorities. Team captains have no special status or privileges, but have the responsibility for the behavior of their team. Well, thank you guys for joining me on the kickoff. That was law number 3, the players. Stay tuned tomorrow for law number 4, the players' equipment.